Hi everyone, it's Talia from Zart Art, and today we're going to be decorating a Chinese lantern. So for this project, we are working with some lantern templates. So we've got 3 different templates in the pack that you can work with. So these 3 lanterns are examples of each of the templates that we have. So we'll be decorating our lanterns with some different markers. We've got our gold, silver and white marker, and we'll also be using tissue paper to add a little bit of colour in the negative space. So for this particular project, we are going to be working with Chinese symbols and patterns, but of course you can work with other kinds of design, whether you just want to focus on abstract patterns or explore certain shapes, you can do that as well. But for this particular project, we're looking at some different Chinese symbols, or you can focus on nature as part of your work, but I'm going to explore a few different types of symbols that you might see in some traditional Chinese clothing or some ornamental designs. So to begin, we are going to choose a template. So choosing a template, one of the 3, you might notice that there are little shapes that you can just punch out of your template. So first we're going to remove all of these before drawing our design onto the paper. Okay, so once you've punched out all of the shapes, next we're just going to fold our design in the sections that have a scored line. So that will create, I guess, the net of our lantern. And these little tabs here will be what we use to stick to the other side, and then you'll have your standing lantern. So now that we know how it's going to sit, where all the folds are, we can start with our design. So we will be using the combination of gold, silver and white. Because this is a black base, these colors will really stand out on the frame. So the symbols that you choose could relate to nature, they could relate to good fortune or good future. You can research lots of different things. So I'm going to use quite a few elements from nature, and in each section I'm going to use a different color. So I'm going to start off using my silver, then my gold, then my white, and then maybe a combination of all the colors. We'll see what happens, but you can choose to use all of your colors, some of your colors, whatever you want to do, it's up to you. You might even want to start your design on a piece of paper just so you know what you're drawing before you go straight onto your lantern. But also have a think about the way that you folded your lantern. So there will be the inside, which you won't see, and the outside, which you will see. So make sure you're decorating the outside section. So I'm going to start my first design with some clouds. So in Chinese culture, clouds were created between earth and heaven, and they symbolize the celestial realm. So in our little design, we've got our clouds here. Now I'm going to choose a more ornamental design and just do some flowers. So you can have a look at different styles of flowers, especially in porcelain and pottery. There's lots of different designs for flowers. So have a little bit of a research before you go into what symbols you want to use in each section, or if you're doing a symbol over your whole lantern design. Now we've done our flower design, which represents long life, health and happiness on this side of our lantern. Now we'll continue on, and I'm going to use my white, so use all the colors, and you can see they're standing out quite nicely on the black. I'm just going to do an abstract, kind of repeating fan design for this section of my lantern. Okay, so we've got our fan design, and next I'm going to do another floral design with some different styled flowers using all three of the colors in the one section. Now I've finished the design for the lantern using my markers. Next we're going to add our tissue paper. So there's a few different ways that you can add your tissue paper into your design. So you can do a different color in each section, you can do the same color across the whole thing, or you can choose different sections to add your colors in, such as that one. So we're going to have a bit of a play. So in some areas I'm going to add some different colors to each of the shapes. In other sections I'm just going to do the whole area as one single color. So we're going to flip this over, and first of all I'm just going to do one straight color on the back. So because I'm working in a larger area, I'm just going to apply the glue across the whole back side of my lantern. So using a glue stick, don't need too much glue at all because the tissue paper is very soft and easy to stick. You can just lightly put that over the top, and then with some scissors, you don't need exactly the right measurement, so just trim it about to size, and then you can trim off however much you need. So we can place that down. So just lightly press where the glue is over the top, and if you have some areas which are overlapping, so you might want to keep some sections completely clear and have that negative space coming through, you can just snip away some of that tissue paper, or you can rip it as well. Tissue paper is very easy to rip and no one's going to see the inside of your lantern, so the design on the inside doesn't really matter if it's a little bit messy. You can trim away the top so that's nice and even. So pressing that flat so the glue will stick, and then you can see that section is all in blue. And then next we're going to try a few different colors, a few different colorways in each of the different sections. We're just cutting out some small shapes and then sticking them in. Okay, so now I've added my tissue paper onto the back of my lantern so you can see from the front where the positive and negative space is, and the color is now sitting there. You can still keep some negative space in your lantern if you would like, so you can have a play with how you apply the color, whether you want blocked out sections or individual sections of different color. But now we're going to just stick the tabs of our lantern together so that it will stand up. So on the edge of each of the designs there should be some little tabs that you can just add a bit of glue or double-sided tape, if you have double-sided tape, to those tabs, and then stick those to the edge of the other side. So you should make a nice even diamond with this design. You just pinch those together and then that should stand and be completed. So that is our lantern. You can also use a tea light. So these are just battery operated tea lights. Chuck it in your lantern and there you have a cool little Chinese lantern. Thank you for joining me and I can't wait to see you next time.